So I want to introduce everybody to a little friend of mine. We've been friends for about 2.5 years now, and this friend has helped many people travel and explore different parts of their mind and their psyche, and it's something that's still being understood to this very day. So this is a Bufo Alvarius Sonoran desert toad, and its name is Lotus. And these toads are from the Sonoran Desert of Mexico. Here we go. So Lotus is right there, and you can see the gland behind the eye. I'm pointing right here. And that gland right there, when squeezed, will secrete what's considered maybe a venom, but more or less it's a defense mechanism. That's highly poisonous. If you do get that in your eye or mouth, it could cause serious harm. So you want to make sure you're very careful with these toads, especially around children. But these, so that gland behind the eye that I just pointed out to, right here. Say hi, Lotus. See, Lotus is really relaxed, really chill. So there's a gland here, and there's also glands on the arm and legs. So the arms and legs also have glands as well. They're a lot smaller than the gland behind the eyes, and the gland behind the eyes is the one that people most typically squeeze to get the 5-MeO DMT out. And you could squeeze the arms and legs as well. However, these toads really don't like to be squeezed. They do a lot of twisting and turning when you're doing it, and they sometimes pee as well, so it can get kind of messy. But it does contain, when you do squeeze it, this white milky substance will come out, and when you let that dry, it'll turn into a clear film on the glass. You just scrape it off with a razor or something, and then you could put it in a pipe or whatnot and smoke it. And this contains 5-MeO DMT, and 5-MeO DMT is a very, very strong psychedelic. And this psychedelic is known to create all kinds of conscious states, such as nirvana samadhi, some kind of all-knowing, all-understanding type of conscious state that's been described in old ancient Vedic texts and by yogis and siddhars from ancient India and ancient Hindu practices through extensive meditation. But modern day, people have found out that you can squeeze these toads' glands, let the secretion dry into this filmy substance, into this like filmy white crystal-y substance, and smoke it, and you can hit these altered states and these expanded states of consciousness in the flash of a second, like just immediately. And so a lot of people have these conscious states, and then the next step is obviously integration after such a profound experience. But time is a good integrative tool, and as long as people have these experiences, they're able to sit with it for a while and just reintegrate it back into their daily life, into their daily approach over a long period of time, then everything usually just ends up being okay, and with a lot more insight in life. But if you do end up with one of these, so this toad was given to me as a surprise birthday present. It was on my doorstep. Somebody gave it to me and thought that, hey, Esteban would be somebody who should have one of these toads, I guess. So I ended up with one, and didn't really know how to take care of it at first, and ended up getting some help with taking care of it, some insight, and they helped me just know what to get to be able to help this toad survive. So some of the things you want is like a decent sized terrarium, to make sure that it's comfortable, and you want to use a coconut fiber substrate. I mean, I use a coconut fiber substrate, a water dish, and you want to make sure there's fresh water, some things for it to hide under and to crawl around on, as well as a heat lamp here. So this heat lamp also is important for these toads. Otherwise, if you remove the heat lamp, they might hibernate for longer periods of time than they really maybe are supposed to. So you want to make sure that the temperature stays warm in there and somewhat dry, and make sure that they have water and crickets and mealworms to stay alive. if you do squeeze these toads out in the desert, say you find one in the Sonoran Desert and you squeeze it, or if you find one in southern United States and you decide to squeeze it, try not to squeeze everything out of it completely, because this is their defense mechanism to survival, and we want to make sure that these toads do flourish for a long period of time, and that everything is sustainably done. That is pretty much all I could think of for now. 5-MeO is personally not one of my psychedelic fortes. I've done it in small amounts, but it's not really something I've personally dove into as much as some of the other ones. So, I can't give as much insight as some other professionals maybe on those vast experiences of losing the ego and so on, but from what I've heard and what I've seen as well, it does have profound effects, and from my own personal experiences, it does have profound effects, and I think that it could be a real benefit for a lot of people, done responsibly. It is really nice in small doses too to take it. I've mixed it with things like some MAOIs before, which is not highly recommended. I don't even personally recommend it for people because it could be dangerous. However, it's a form of taking it that I've worked with, and there is a certain aspect that I really appreciate about that from the effects. But we'll go into that maybe later in time when I practice more with it and have a deeper understanding of that. And that's all I could think of. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm happy that I got to show everybody Lotus and Journey. Thank you.